There's no such thing as too much lip gloss. Now I'm ready. Hey there, today we are talking about side quests, and thank you for tuning in. Be sure to subscribe and like the video.
What are you doing? Chasing a tornado. What? Yes, it's a category 5. Girl, that's so dangerous. No, I'll be fine. Don't even worry about me, girl. Hello? Bitch, I think I'm getting sucked up. What side is better, my left or my right? Why? What's going on? I'm about to take pictures at the Freaky Friday world premiere. What the? How did you get into that? I don't know. I just found this badge on the ground and then snuck in. I really have no idea. You snuck into a world premiere?
Thank you. I won't waste any more of your time. I'll just dive right in. So, I mentioned in my previous video about being blissfully unemployed. If you didn't watch it, be sure to watch it. It's this video right here or here. I talked about side quests, that I'm using this time to focus on a few side quests, and I would like to share what kind of side quests I'm into so that maybe it can inspire someone to find a very challenging yet fully rewarding side quest for them. Maybe just a little background on the whole side quest situation. When the year started, I made a vision book. I made a vision book, and in the book, like, each page has a goal. I'm trying by all means to live 2025 following my goals, aka each page. Of course, I won't be able to complete all of them, but I'm hoping that I will have done so much that I will be proud of, myself at the end of the year. Nevertheless, I got many of these side quests from the resolutions that I set this year and the pages in my vision book. Side quest number 1 is pageant modeling. Short story time. I was scrolling on Instagram and I saw this post. It's for a pageant and the deadline had actually been extended. I think it was in April? 10 April, somewhere like that was the deadline. The deadline had actually been extended, calling for registrations for those who might be interested in participating in the pageant. And the registration fee was only $10, and there was no height restriction. There was no previous modeling experience required. And I was like, if I do not take this shot, there is no way I'm going to take this shot. Like, I'm no model. I am short. I'm like 1.5 something meters. I'm not tall. I'm not tall at all. I'm not like, slim. So yeah, I have no previous modeling experience. I have no crown whatsoever. I've never been in a pageant before, only in high school. I did a little bit of modeling in high school, but then again, it wasn't like high stakes modeling. But I did at least wear a sash once, for fun times. This is me in high school. How old was I in this picture? Form 5, lower 6, 17. I was 16 right here. This one is for Miss Face of Zimbabwe Queen, and the 2024 queen was actually Karen Katsandi, who is also like former Miss UZ, and she has other crowns under her title too, but it's the Karen Katsandi. She's the current holder for the Miss Face of Zimbabwe Queen 2024 crown. We recently had, our first, I don't know what to call it, that. And this one, it's actually a pageant with a difference. Like, we didn't have to beg for likes, which is something I like. When you're sending messages in the groups, you're like, please vote for me, I need 10 likes, or 10 likes equals to so and so, like 100 likes, 1,000 likes. We did none of that. Everything's just so cool, calm, collected. Everything's arranged for us nicely. It's very professional in that it's literally driving us towards having tangible results in our lives. Exactly, let me say that. It's driven by results, it's focused on results, not just on getting likes or, That's one of the things that I loved, really, really, really loved about the pageant, that I didn't have to beg for likes. I cannot stress that enough. I am so glad I did not have to beg for likes. So through this pageant, we're gonna have a crowning ceremony. soon. I don't know when yet, but soon. Two of us are going to be receiving our crowns and sashes. Me for the Harare province and my other colleague from the Bulawayo province. Going back to the pageant, I remember the time we had to walk. I didn't even know how a pageant model stands, you know, like you don't just stand, you have to stand and do you have to do like this foot here and the other on the back, you know, then like you don't just stand, like you have to go like I will never forget Tandika. She was like, let's practice. Okay, so stand. And I stood. It was normal. She was like, stand. I'm like, I am standing. She's like, oh my god. Then she showed me how I'm supposed to stand, you know, but my walk wasn't bad, you know, my walk was okay. She's like, yeah, your walk is good. It's just a few things that we had to practice and iron over. And we also had to make project proposals for the community development or what we'd like to do in terms of women empowerment or giving back, you know, things like that. And we also had to do a business proposal for a business that we should have so that we can be able to fund our projects and also make money for ourselves, because our director is adamant on the fact that the queens should be able to sustain themselves and their projects. You know, the queens don't have to beg. So we had to make our project proposals and our business proposals. It's only just beginning, but yeah, I'm grateful that I took a chance on that Instagram scroll. Instagram will actually be a recurring thing in my story because it's gonna come again, but let me hold on for that. So of course, spinning off of the pageant, the other thing that I'm then doing, which I'm also kind of considering as side quest, because I never ever thought I would do that. I have my own non-governmental organization. It's not yet registered, but it's work in progress. So it's called Andless Hope. And Andless Hope focuses on women empowerment through education, sustainability, cultural preservation, technology, and innovation. Yes. So it's kind of like there are many pillars to my hope. I named it after myself, but there are many pillars. You know, I think I believe that through these pillars, we can teach the girls that are coming up to become, you know, well-rounded women and individuals who are not only excel at home, but they excel at work, they excel in the environment, they excel in their cultures, they excel in every aspect of their lives. That's the goal of Andless Hope. Because my hope is not just a narrow-minded girl, but a girl who sees all, who has hands everywhere, who dips her toes. She's not afraid to try things. She's not afraid to challenge the status quo. That's the goal from Andless Hope. One of the first projects that we had was actually an essay writing contest, because I noticed that nowadays it's so easy to get things from AI, from Meta, from Google, Gemini, that even when I read compositions written by the kids nowadays, I'm like, I could write way better compositions when I was in grade 5. And I'm not joking, you can go ask my grade 5 teacher, Mrs. She'll testify for me. I wrote some of the best essays that I've ever written when I was still in primary school. And I was reading books like no one's business. I loved reading. I hope I'll have a library one day. My own, not library, like, you know, like indoor, gigantic bookshelf thing. And I also want to teach my kids, you know, to read. The hard, you know, there's something about flipping the book. It was, dare I digress? So I noticed that creativity is actually kind of on the down low with these younger kids. So I wanted to see, because I knew that they could still use AI, but if the essay was overly AI, we could tell, me and my boyfriend, but he helped me, and we could tell, like, this is purely AI, so, you know, but there's some parts where you can tell that, no, this is a kid who wrote this. Of course, maybe there was the help of the internet, but the creativity is still there. So it was an essay contest for if I could invent a school subject. So essentially I wanted to see what things kids would be interested in learning. So of course, another thing we saw is a trend in the same topics, which they told us that they were probably Googling on what kind of, you know, We had like topics like conflict resolution. I think 3 people wrote about it. And there's another one that was quite popular. I've forgotten. This was May, so it's kind of a long time ago. But we actually awarded 2 girls from there. They were running in the different age categories from 10 to 13, 10 to 12, then 13 to 15. So the winning essays, one was about sustainability, and the other one, what was it about? On state of life skills. There was a lot of, bits and pieces in those life skills, but the essays were well articulated, they were well researched, they were well explained, and we loved them so much. And we actually gifted the kids, with some goodie bags, some back to school goodie bags, because again, we wanted to drive home the impact through education and to support the goals of education. So I didn't have much, but I tried my best. So I just bought some books, some stationery, some sanitary wear, some snacks. So I just filled the bags with the different things, books, rulers, pens, pencils. One girl had a med set, the older one had a med set, and then the toiletries, of course. We had, soap, deodorant, sanitary pads, and snacks. We had some biscuits and Mazoe Orange Crush. So was it raspberry? I don't know. It was Mazoe. That's all I remember. So, in that moment when I was looking at that, I was proud of myself, in that I was able to organize something that materialized into something that benefited others. I was like, wow, this is nice. So I do hope, and not hope, I do plan to continue doing more and more through Endless Hope and impacting more women and girls. And if you'd like to know more about Endless Hope, or if you'd like to support the organization, I will leave a QR code to our website or our contact details so that you can get in touch. You can also check in the description box. I'll have details about Endless Hope where you can know more about us, contact me directly on our WhatsApp, or even donate if you're a well-wisher. And this October, I'm hoping that we'll be able to do something for Breast Cancer Awareness Month and also for global warming. And this is a fun journey. I've wasted so much time speaking about this. I'm going to move on to the next side quest, which is kind of in the same realm, but not exactly. But this again is an Instagram short story. There was again scrolling my Instagram. I was now knee deep into the world of pageantry. I was, getting very interested. I was right around the time when Miss Universe Zimbabwe was still going on, and I was supporting, voting every day. I think I was voting for, I alternated actually. I would vote sometimes for Nesimo, sometimes I'd vote for Lashanda, sometimes I'd vote for Sam Kelly. I was just alternating my free votes. I don't know why I was doing that. But so I was knee deep into the pageantry world. I was so interested, and then I bumped into one of the posts later on it was a story on the Miss Universe Zimbabwe page. There was a designers challenge, and guess what? The deadline had also been extended. And I was like, God, if this is not you speaking to me, I don't know what is. So immediately I went to the page. It was Fazak. Okay, so I have to design a dress for suitable for Miss Universe Zimbabwe, and with the brand colors of the company Fazak itself, which were kind of like purple, green and gold, yellow, somewhere there. And I was like, I qualify, there's no money needed, just proof that I'm a student here in Zimbabwe. So I bought some sketch pens the following day, green, yellow and purple, and I got to drafting. And I had 3 drafts, so I'm going to display them here. I had 3 drafts, and then I had to decide which one I wanted to send them. It was quite hard, but I did eventually choose this one. I don't know if it was the best choice, but I thought it was really nice, and it resembled a lot. Because again, the dress had to show the Zimbabweanness. It had to show some Zimbabweanness in it. Celebrating our Zimbabwean culture. So it was quite challenging for me, because I was like, how am I going to put out a message I want to put out about Zimbabwe, but in these colors, green, yellow and gold? I was like, how am I gonna do that? And then I just kept thinking, and I ended up with these. So I sent it, and a while later They got in touch. It was a WhatsApp call. I screamed. I was happy that I'd won the challenge and that my dress would be made for the reigning queen. Now, the dress hasn't yet been made. I don't know, but I'm just crossing my fingers that it's gonna pull through and I'm gonna be able to bring this dress to life. I'm gonna push through so that it happens, and when it does happen, I'll be back to update you. I'll be back to I'm truly grateful. You know, I've always wanted to be a fashion designer. I remember in primary school, not like always like all the time, no, but like in primary school, if you asked me when I wanted to be when I grew up, I wanted to be a fashion designer. I had this tiny notebook that I would draw some designs in it. I unfortunately lost it, but I didn't buy another, and I kind of stopped drawing after that. Then I went to high school, and then I was a pick me in high school. So eventually I wanted to do engineering, and yeah, but I figured I completed my degree, I might as well do whatever I want, and I really want to do this fashion design thing. I think I'm just gonna get maybe a certificate in fashion design or a diploma in fashion design or something like that, some sort of qualification. I know you don't need a qualification to be a fashion designer, but I would love to just have that qualification again. And I also have some practical experience. It's not much, but I do have some. But I want to continue to grow it and become a big time brand one day. I mean, not one day, next year I'm gonna have a Zimbabwean celebrity wearing my dress. Next year I'm gonna have 2 Zimbabwean celebrities wearing my outfits designed and made by me. Mark my words, and mark it, Andy by Andile. They're gonna be wearing Andy, and they're gonna be looking amazing, because I'm amazing. So I do terribly encourage you to go for whatever it is you think is wild. You know, think of something like, that's wild, I could never, and do it. If you're scrolling on your phone and you see an opportunity and you think, but I don't have the time, I don't have the energy, I don't have the I don't want to hear that, do it. As long as you have the passion for it, even if it's just a drop of passion, I encourage you to pursue it. If you don't like it, you can always drop out of it, you can always opt out of it, you know. It's not like you're being kusungirira kuti uite, but if you feel like you don't want to do it anymore, you can always just not do it anymore. But you might as well try. There is no harm in trying. You could decide, I want to be a chef. For example, if you want to be a chef, professionally, you only need perhaps 1 year. Please take this at face value. I am no knowledgeable person, especially in that industry. But from what I've heard, what I've learned from the experience of people who are in the culinary industry, you can take a practical cookery course for 1 year, and you literally become a certified chef. If like you're good at it, of course. But like, there's no harm if you decide, I want to learn how to cook like a chef, I want to be a top chef, you know, and you have the means and you have the dollars to spare, you can go through that process. But you don't need again the paper to become a chef, but you can just, of course, learn even whilst you're at home. There's YouTube, there's Gemini, there's ChatGPT. You can learn a lot of skills from those platforms even without paying, of course. But the light is going down and my video quality is getting worse and worse. I'm gonna end this video right here. I hope I didn't forget anything. This was an unscripted video. I had no idea what I wanted to say. I just pressed record and it began recording, so I might have forgotten something. But if I did, I'll just make a part 2 of the side quest thing. But thank you for tuning in. Thank you for staying this far. If you're here, thank you so much. I appreciate it so much. I'm just a girl at home recording from her Samsung Galaxy M32 from the front camera, which is very much discouraged, and no microphone. But I do have the vision of becoming a content creator. So thank you so much for supporting my journey, and be sure to subscribe if you haven't. And at 10 p.m. today, when the electricity comes back, be sure to put the like button's phone on the charger, but do not switch on the switch such that the phone does not charge. And when the like button wakes up, the phone will have no power and the electricity will be gone. Thank you. Bye.
That's it. I've had just about enough of her